Started back in November. I started doing a resolution because every month I try a new resolution for myself. And in November I started just doing a daily practice of writing, just whatever it comes to mind, just observations. Most of what I end up writing about is either my backyard or my dogs, because that's where I spend a lot of time. So that's what inspired these couple pieces, and I continued my resolution. So now it's been 3 months. January kind of fell off a little bit, but I'm trying to keep up with it. So this is the first piece. It's January, but the earth has forgotten her seasons. The white-winged doves have abandoned their high solitude in the neighbors' ash trees, and in their place a gang of grackles clings to thin branches that sway like bony fingers against a backdrop of wispy gray clouds and blue sky, passing behind like artificial land in the window of an old movie car. A warm wind swirls about the yard as a soft chill portends the approach of rain. As the wind intensifies, so too does the clatter of pastel glass, the rustling of palm fronds like newspaper balls tossed one after another into a fire. Overhead, a queue of jetliners roars south, carrying curious minds to the promise of barbecue and live music. But in this town as any other, the arts are drying out. The culture is giving way to condos. So each day I thank God for this yard where a man can sit with his 2 dogs and enjoy the last bit of silence before an eternity of noise, while the world still knows a thing called hope. And then this next one was inspired by my dog, Macabu. My first dog love, well, I guess not my first dog love, first recent dog love. Today he got to go to our church, the Unitarian Universalist Church, and Nicole got to bring him up on stage with all the other dogs and cats of the congregation, and everyone is just drawn to him. There's really something magical about him. Mac is what my mom would call a brick shithouse. A solid, impenetrable mass of fat and muscle. Try and move him if you want, he won't help. He eats some of the food you serve him, though at the majority he sticks up his nose. In many cases, he would sooner labor to his feet and leave the room than share even the air with the undignified scraps you dare call a meal. It is but one of the few occasions worthy of his effort to stand. When getting into bed, he insists on being the first one up. That way he can claim the prime real estate, then sprawl on his back and expose his belly to be rubbed. No, massaged. Because for him the world is a resort and spa. You are merely a masseuse. So you rub and scratch unceasingly, as copious clumps of fur are sent forth to live eternally on surrounding blankets. Eyes closed, a blissful smile extends the length of his snout. He wears his white whiskers proudly, like a wise old man whose greatest virtue is pleasure in all forms. Scratch him in the sweet spot, his hind-leg thumps applause. At last he licks his lips and sighs. Living in such luxury is serious work. Oh, and our next reader is Nicole Cortachado.
All right.